The historic decision from former Vice President Joe Biden, revealing today Senator Kamala Harris was his choice for a running mate.
Well, we're finally at that point of the campaign, guys. Joe Biden has officially chosen Kamala Harris to be his running mate, and I thought it would be interesting to detail my thoughts about his choice. And it shouldn't be a surprise that much like a lot of other things this election season, I have an issue with it. Take this as a quick, at times an unscripted video about Kamala Harris and her various blunders as an individual. So, do I think the pick is bad? In terms of the campaign, I don't think it's really going to serve to disbenefit him, nor do I really think it's going to swing any uncertain voters towards him. There's never been an instance where I've heard the VP be announced and saw people disassociate from the main nominee, as if people were like, Mitt Romney chose Paul Ryan? What the hell? Except maybe when John McCain chose Sarah Palin. Yeah, that was pretty weird. And in the grand scheme of things, what impact will my 12,000 subscriber YouTube channel and thoughts upon Kamala Harris truly have? What, would Joe Biden watch this and be like, you know what, Zeeb is right, I should dump Kamala Harris, and instead nominate him? God, could you imagine? My issues with Kamala Harris really stem from her time as Attorney General for my state of California. I actually think this highlighted moment from a debate last year between Harris and Tulsi Gabbard perfectly encapsulates my issues with her.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place. That impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
In this current era we find ourselves in, it is absolutely astonishing to me that they choose a cop as VP. So is the party completely tone deaf? What's going on here, big guy? I guess I get it. The theory for them goes like this. How do we attract various other demographics to reassemble the Obama coalition that left when Hillary needed them? Oh, I know. Pick a POC. The problem with that is that she has been incredibly aggressive to the community she suggests to care about. Another thing is she has no real strong convictions whatsoever. She was one of the most ravaged against Biden during the debates, dragging him for busing.
Do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well, there was a failure of states to integrate public schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a local decision. So that's where the federal government must step in.
That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there are moments in history where states fail to preserve the civil rights of all people.
She later even stated in an interview that she believed Biden's various accusers, quote saying, I believe them and I respect them being able to tell their story and having the courage to do it. But hey, when it comes to grasping onto power, politicians will do anything to get there, including going back on past statements that she made not even more than 2 years ago. Listen, it's alright if a politician changes their mind on a particular issue, but when you flip-flop so often as Harris does, it begins to become more questionable. Just look at these back-to-back clips of her flip-flopping on Medicare for All.
Who here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? Yeah. All right.
So you saw the hand up by Kamala Harris, but then she sort of clarified that response this morning on Morning Joe.
Do you believe that private insurance should be eliminated in this country?
No.
You don't?
You don't have to go through the process of going through an insurance company, having them give you approval, going through the paperwork, all of the delay that may require. Who of us has not had that situation where you got to wait for approval and the doctor says, well, I don't know if your insurance company is going to cover this? Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
Exactly.
We were together,
yes.
And you'll remember, and roll the tape, please.
Yeah, we can roll the tape. that...
Well, you support the Bernie Sanders bill, which essentially gets rid of insurance.
I support Medicare for all, but I really do need to clear up what happened on that stage.
Okay.
It was in the context of saying, let's get rid of all the bureaucracy. Let's get all of the ways...
Oh, not the insurance companies.
No, that's not what I meant. I know it was interpreted that way. If you watch the tape, I think you'll see that there are obviously many interpretations of what I said.
What does Harris truly believe in? I mean, at least we know for the record that she is notorious for harmful actions and policies that have in her control put thousands of minorities imprisoned for minor crimes. I will give her this, however, she's quite the debater. She's very skilled, which will come in handy in her debate with Pence. Not to mention, Millennial Liberals seem to love her.
So a lot of kids play with Marvel characters and Barbies, and you know, that's fine. But my kid, she plays with superheroes. Hello, Madam Vice President.
These people are the bane of my existence. As a side note, I just thought it would be interesting to note that according to Rumsen, which is an albeit very conservative poll, so don't take it with too much merit, 59% of the country believes Joe Biden won't make it through his first term in office. In my opinion, Joe Biden has essentially handpicked the 2024 Democratic nominee. There is no way that I see a second term of a Biden presidency. I see the Biden administration as an effort to return to normalcy, an echo of Warren Harding's 1920 election message. Kamala Harris in turn will use her vice presidency as a springboard for the general election in 2024. It's kind of a shame that this is essentially going to be the future for the Democratic Party. I am not excited. The essence of neoliberalism shall reign supreme for I have no idea how long.
Have you taken a cognitive
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say?
I think it's funny that the right is trying to label Biden and Harris as far left as possible, thinking that the Sanders wing of the party has taken control, when that cannot be further than the truth. In reality, this is the moderate wing of the Democratic Party puppeting the Biden campaign, getting the neoliberals really hyped up. I don't see the youth being hyped up for this year's general election because both tickets don't have much to offer to the youth in terms of policies. I mean, the general messages between both candidates aren't that inspiring and in fact boring to say the least. Harris is a safe choice, and like I said before, her addition to the ticket isn't going to harm Biden's already huge lead in the polls. One thing I would like to note before I leave, however, the polls are tightening, ever so slightly. No, my dear friend, this election isn't over quite yet.